You're doing it right now, and you probably do it every single day without even thinking about it. Reading. It feels so automatic, almost like breathing, right? But what's actually happening inside your brain is, well, it's pretty much a superpower.
But have you ever really stopped to think about it? I mean, how do these little black squiggles on a screen transform into huge ideas, entire worlds, and powerful emotions all inside your head? It's not magic, but it's close. It's this incredible neurological dance.
Okay, take a look at this. I'm willing to bet you can read that sentence without too much trouble, even though almost all the words are jumbled up. This little trick shows us something absolutely crucial about reading. It proves your brain isn't just a simple machine decoding one letter at a time. Nope, it's doing something way, way smarter. So, if we want to get technical, reading is just the ability to get meaning from text. But the two words you really need to focus on here are active and dynamic. You're not just passively soaking up information. Your brain is having a full-on conversation with the words on the page. To figure out how this all works, researchers came up with a few big ideas, or models. The first one we're going to look at is called the bottom-up model. The easiest way to think about this is to picture a builder carefully laying one brick at a time to build a house from the ground up. So in this way of thinking, reading is this very neat, orderly, step-by-step process. You start with the absolute smallest pieces, the letters and the sounds they make, and you build your way up to understanding, piece by piece, layer by layer. It's super methodical. You start with the basic sounds, phonemes like the k sound in cat. You combine those into little units of meaning called morphemes, like adding an S to make something plural. Then you get words, then phrases, then sentences, and finally, boom, you get comprehension. It's like an assembly line for making sense of things. But there's a pretty big catch. If we actually read this way, going letter by letter, reading would be painfully slow. You'd probably forget the beginning of the sentence by the time you got to the end. And let's be honest, the English language laughs at simple rules. Just think about the words through, tough, and bow. A simple bottom-up approach just doesn't cut it. And that brings us to the complete opposite idea, the top-down model. So, if the bottom-up reader is a builder, the top-down reader is much more of a detective. They don't start with the tiny clues, they start with a big picture hunch. In fact, one educator, Kenneth Goodman, famously called reading a psycholinguistic guessing game. And you know what? That phrase is the perfect way to sum up this entire model. So with this top-down approach, you're not really decoding, you're predicting. Your brain uses everything it already knows, your life experiences, what you expect to read, the context of the sentence, to make these really smart guesses about what the text is saying. Then you just glance at the words to see if your guess was right. All right, so we've got two completely different theories on the table. Bottom up, which is all about the text itself, building from the little pieces up to the big picture, and top down, which is all about you, the reader, predicting the big picture and then checking the little pieces. For a long time, people argued about which one was right, but the real answer? It wasn't about picking a side. As it turns out, the truth wasn't either or. It was both. And this brings us to what's known as the interactive model. And honestly, the best way to think about it is like a delicate dance between those first two ideas. Because really, the magic of skilled reading is all about balance. The best readers are masters of both strategies. They're constantly and effortlessly shifting between that bottom-up decoding and that top-down predicting, depending on what they need at that exact moment. Let me give you a perfect example. You might be skimming a familiar article, using your knowledge to guess the overall point. That's pure top-down. But then all of a sudden you hit a word you've never seen before, something like abnegation. Instantly, your brain slams on the brakes. It switches gears into bottom-up mode to sound the word out and figure out what it means from its parts. It's amazing. Now, this interactive model isn't just some dusty old theory. It's actually the foundation of how we teach people to be great readers. Let's take a quick look at how it all works in the real world. You see, a really good reading lesson is designed to train both sides of your brain. All those pre-reading things, like looking at the cover or title, that's waking up your top-down, predicting brain. The while reading part is where you practice the dance. And post-reading, that's where you connect what you just read back to what you already know. It's a complete workout for your reading brain. So what does this look like in action? Well, an effective reader recognizes words in a flash. They use clues to predict what's coming next. They can figure out what a word means just from the context. They know when to speed up and when to slow down. And they can easily tell you the most important ideas. It's all of these skills working together in perfect harmony.
So reading isn't just about seeing words. It's this incredible, active process of creating meaning. It's a constant dance between analyzing the tiny details and predicting the big picture. So the next time you pick up a book or scroll through an article, just take a moment to appreciate that silent, extraordinary symphony that your brain is conducting. Now that you know a little bit about the code, how does it change the way you see the words right here on this screen?